तो गाइस आज हम दूसरा पार्ट पूरा कर देंगे स्नेज़नाया को क्वेस्ट का एक्ट 2। शायद रूलर ऑफ डेथ आने वाली है तो हम उसी को करेंगे आज। क्या होता है। कहाँ से बोल रहा है भाई? ले ले, मुझे क्या बता रहा है। तो कंटिन्यू करते हैं फिर। खत्म करने की सोच रहा हूँ मैं, देखता हूँ हो पाएगा कि नहीं हो पाएगा, बाकी पता नहीं यार। क्या करना है? इन्वेस्टिगेट द। हम्म। देख, आ जाऊँ।
Ah, traveler. Since you're here, come take a look at this.
मित्या।
Alosha found it.
An investigation report, huh?
The theater manager must presumably anyway, the bottom line is the
Ley line problems are pretty. It's hard to imagine what connection it could have to these two.
some of the language that my area of research doesn't huh? A piece of paper just fell out from the report. It landed right by your feet.
ऐसी नहीं है।
How
मैं
unnerving. Death is. But if so. Maybe things. No, wait a sec. The report definitive. The question is, what exactly does the note mean by death?
ऐसी नहीं यार, खुद ही वो दे रहे हैं ये तो।
Valeri, come take a look at this. You too, traveler.
Some sort of notebook.
It's the on-duty logbook for the theater. Kulish was the main person to use it. He mostly used it to record any unusual incidents during a show, audience numbers, exit times, and so on. Yes, he'd always have this logbook with him when he checked tickets at the entrance.
This should confirm a lot of key details about the recent show. So, you find anything unusual?
Yes. Apparently...
Are we certain that logbook is accurate? Could someone have sneaked in without buying a ticket?
Unlikely. Kulish took his duties very seriously. I've rarely... Not to mention that this was a dress rehearsal, meaning smaller audience numbers and tighter ticket restrictions than usual.
We no longer have our tickets with us, do we? They got collected on entry.
Unfortunately not. The theater recycles tickets. Once people are in the door, they don't tend to leave until the show ends. so we collect the tickets at the point of entry. Still, I'm inclined to believe that
Did an extra person just materialize out of thin air?
Hmm.
Tonya, did you find anything?
Not yet. Still looking. So... are we...
This looks like somebody's.
Well, alright.
I would understand someday later, but even
Huh.
padega.
This has to be.
Maybe it's a little rude for us to peek at this. It sounds like she's writing this for her parents, right?
Because her water imp parents belong to the aristocracy, who were driven out of
We're sorry.
It's fine. My fault for not storing it properly. I can't leave things lying around and expect them to get ignored when everyone's scouring the place for clues. Alright, give me my notebook back.
डायरी बोलना चाहिए ना, नोटबुक क्या होता है?
If we take all this together, it's not impossible, is it? If anything, it's the natural.
Oh, I beg to differ. This sounds to me like a product of a researcher's vivid imagination. And perhaps it's because I'm still viewing this through the lens.
Does it really sound that far-fetched? All right, well, let's treat that as speculation.
Good. Okay, now that we... So, that's about everything we've discovered so far. I'll share my theory first. Based on what we've learned from the logbook, I believe the extra person among us is most likely the killer.
person.
If the killer had simply bought a ticket, it would have greatly increased the risk of their identity being exposed. I expect he or she either hid in the theater ahead of time, or found a way.
What about the note found in the investigation report?
The killer may have simply planted it there as some sort of sick joke.
So, it has.
This theory makes sense to me. If we have an audience member unaccounted for, chances are they didn't come here to.
Could it really be that?
So, in other words, all we have to do is find out who got in here without a ticket, and all Then let me make one thing clear. All the theater staff should be well aware that I came here for the rehearsal legitimately, yes? There's no way I'm the one who...
It's true. I hear you used every trick in the book to get a hold of that ticket, too. Everything short of throwing a temper tantrum and rolling around on the floor at the entrance.
I most certainly did not degrade myself.
Probably a stupid question, but I might as well ask. Did anyone hear? Guess it was naive of me to expect them to just admit to it.
Especially after the unprompted Lelic reveal. Once was already a miracle. Twice would be unfathomable.
Tonya received her ticket the same way I did. I assume Child got both of them together. In any case, I knew in advance that Tonya was coming.
कौन आएगा बिना टिकट के?
As things stand, the audience head count doesn't add up. I guess we can rule out. Valeri came to the theater to catch Mitya. Those two should be able to vouch for one another, and... I don't believe any of us here knew Shram before all this. If no one can verify Shram's identity... Mr.
बेचारा
Shram,
फंस गया.
did you really go through the ticket inspection to get it?
Huh? Me? Why am I being singled out, my friend?
It's not that you stand out as suspicious, more that everyone else has been ruled out as trustworthy.
Okay. Well, we spent the best part of 2 days together now. so I'm sure you can all tell what kind of person I am. I'm a true
Yeah, I have no doubt that you're a good person. But the problem is, none of us here actually know you. Although, actually, what was it you said last night? Yeah, you're friends with that water imp. Last time I checked, there were barely any of us remaining in Sneznaya, since most of the water imps left. Could you tell me? And I suppose it's also kind of a way for everyone else to get.
Good grief. Are you blushing? Pull yourself together, man. Stop giggling like a teenage boy. It's...
Hey, revolting is a little strong. All right. That was just the bodyguard hired by our family.
We don't need details. Just get to the point.
Okay. I'm just a little hesitant to reveal her name, that's all. Even with me to protect her. If word gets out that she's dating a human, both the Fae and human factions will give her a hard time.
Really? Wait, no.
Huh? Shram.
Why is everyone looking at me like that?
Delicate time.
Yes? You know, the civil...
If I'm not mistaken, the last significant civil war in Sneznayan history was over 400 years ago. When Her Majesty the Tsaritsa had just taken...
What do you mean, 400 years ago?
What's going on here?
All right, Mr. Mitya, you win this round. As far-fetched as it is...
I'm just as amazed as you are. I didn't even believe it myself.
Is someone going to explain what's going on here?
From the look on your face, you figured it out too, haven't you, Traveler?
Oh, according to the theater's duty log, there seems to have been extra person at the scene. A letter was wrote to her family but never sent. Truth that has yet to surface.
That seems to be the case. No. The theater's ley lines have been modified to block souls within its grounds from returning to them. Some souls can... Mr. Shram's statement proves he is from Hundred, and according to the investigation report on the theater hauntings, Mr. Shram is very...
Oh. The donation of the extra person is a soul wandering the theater.
For some unknown... Yeah, that must be... Since we discovered that... The contents of the death is near.
Yeah, the logic is clear now. The investigation report said that there would be souls stuck wandering around the... Mr. Shram must be one such soul who died in the theater a long time ago. In which case, that also when the note said death is near, it must have been referring to death as in the deceased. People who died a long time ago.
Someone who died.
In short, there's a dead person among us. The extra person we've been searching for.
You mean I'm a ghost? No. Don't make jokes like that, my man. But even if I was dead, I know for a fact I didn't kill anyone these past...
Yeah, even if all that's true, the report also said the souls inside the theater can't affect reality, right? They're...
Then what if the problem is the ley lines have a powerful ability to attract and devour souls? Let's say that the ley lines are like a black hole, constantly seeking to engulf souls. But the souls that don't want to return are trying to...
Why does this analogy...
What happens when the black hole can't achieve its goal? I'm only speculating here, but... What if it ended up swallowing innocent souls by mistake?
That could explain why we weren't able to determine a cause of death. If you're right, and their souls were...
It does seem to explain a lot of the things we couldn't make sense of.
Except there's no concrete evidence. Mitya's Still, it seems like the best explanation we have under the
Alright, so how could Shram not know that he's dead? Seems a little unlikely that he hasn't noticed anything unusual even after several days
On the contrary, it's perfectly normal for a soul to wander the theater for centuries without questioning their existence or reason for being there. It's simply what's natural for them.
You know what, Mr. Brainiac? I think you might actually be... I'm trying to remember and... Even though my head feels like... I was the one who didn't want to remember my own death.
Well, I'm sure those are painful memories.
My lady and I snuck out to go on a date one day. We bought tickets for the theater. It wasn't really my thing. All of a sudden, a group of people burst into the theater, shouting for all the water imps to get out. Performers and audience members included. It was clear the conflict between humans and Fae had reached a boiling point. This time, the extremists were even coming after them. I thought I could pull one over on them. So I took off my jacket, draped it over my lady, and tried to sneak out amid the chaos. But I got caught. They started shouting, but I was going to do whatever it took to buy our chance to escape. No matter how many people stood in my way. I had to. Both as their bodyguard. And out of love.
Oh,
It's all right, friend. You can stop there if you want.
It's just... Even now, If I'd known I was a dead man walking, I wouldn't have dragged you down with me. If I'm the cause of all this death...
But, Mr.
No. I refuse to be a burden. I know what I have to do. I guess it's high time I got a breath of fresh air. Out there, I mean. I'll leave this place.
Mr. Shram, I'm sure we can figure out a different course of action.
My good sir. We both know I'm not supposed to be here. I should have accepted my death long ago. One way or another, this has to end.
No, I'm speaking on a person.
Let it go, man. Oh, wait. One last thing. Miss Waterimp. My...
Oh, Zorova. Oh, Auntie Ozarova. That's what we all called her. I remember her as a very kind elder.
I'm so glad she survived. And she had lots of kids? Good. As long as she went on to be happy. That's all that matters. Besides, I'm dead. There's no need to see me off, my friends. I've enjoyed our time together over these past few days. Perhaps.
oh, चले गए.
Take care, my man.
I knew Mr. Shrim was already dead, but...
Death is cruel, no matter how we might try to make sense.
So, was the conflict between Fae and humans really that bad back then? I was only little, so I don't remember much. It's terrible. Even the historical records about that time period don't say much about. All people know is that the Tsaritsa founded the Fatui, drove out most of the Fae aristocracy without explanation, then used her terrifying...
It seems to me like the Tsaritsa chose to make herself the enemy. She downplayed the conflict, directing whatever animosity both sides had for each other at herself instead. That's also why, despite how brutal the conflict was at the time, there hasn't been much lingering tension between humans and Fae since.
So, the Tsaritsa banished the Fae to protect the Fae living in the city?
Maybe it's not quite as bad as it sounds. I don't think Her Majesty is too concerned if mortals hate her or not.
All this time?
All right. If Mitia's theory is correct, then I think we can consider this matter settled.
Ugh, if only this blasted storm wasn't still...
खत्म हो गया स्टॉर्म. क्या करना चाहिए? ये रूम इतने दूर क्यों है बे?
Looks like now we can just rest until the snowstorm stops. I still can't believe Shram turned out to be a ghost who'd been in the theater for hundreds of years. To think he was dead this whole time.
Knock, knock.
Huh?
Knock, knock.
You know the door isn't closed, right? You don't have to knock.
Think of it as a signal then. When I'm entering someone else's room and I knock, I'm here as Odette. If I don't knock, It's Lelik. Thanks.
भाई साहब.
So, why did you
Vodyanitsa said, but when everyone was yes, I'm
It's nothing. I mean, you didn't
actually. So I thought I'd come and ask. It's about me before all of this. The last time I saw him, he was dead. As I'm sure you know, my goal as Lelik was to stop. Well, when I found out the tech lead for the experiment behind Project Stuja was Mitya, I immediately started planning to track him down, and I often saw him around the theater. But I soon concluded that making my move there would risk exposing my identity. So I decided to infiltrate the Armory Palace, and, well, I suppose there was a bit of luck involved. But I am a Fatus, so I already had some familiarity. But when I finally made it to his lab, Mitya seemed to be... I checked his breathing and his pulse. He had no vitals. I thought maybe another anti-Project Stuja activist had beaten me to it, and chosen a much more brutal...
That's why you were so on guard around Mitya that first night here.
Yes. When I saw him sitting in the audience during the performance, I could barely contain... To me, it was a miracle. Somehow, he'd come back from the dead. But then, the murder started. That is, until Mitya himself said there must be a dead person among us. Then I could...
And yet, you thought that bringing it up right away would single Mitya out. Just like when everyone was suspecting Lelik.
Exactly. I thought there could... Besides, we soon figured out that Mr. Schramm was a ghost. And we knew there was only one extra person.
But now, it seems like there's another... I understand why you kept it to yourself. There was so much information being thrown around during that discussion. Bringing up Mitya would have just...
So, what do you...
Let me confirm one thing first. What?
Around a week ago.
A week ago? That's earlier than I thought. I saw him just a few days ago at a restaurant. He seemed completely normal to me. Chatting...
So he was definitely alive on that day. Huh.
Here's a thought. The reason we even suspected a dead person could be among us was because of the problem with the theater. But Mitya's death happened inside the Armory Palace. The ley lines affecting the theater...
You're right. I guess he doesn't fit the profile of the person.
I think the chances of it being him are very low. Surely he can't have died for real in the Armory Palace.
Unless what?
Unless he really did come back from the dead.
You're right.
Huh, what's this? A private meet and greet? Where do I line up?
That's not what's...
Well, I was just making the rounds. Thought I'd try to lighten the mood a bit. Vodyanitsa's handing out...
क्या हो रहा है भाई इसमें मैं
What is going on with this storm? Could it be connected to that monster that just arrived in
I almost hope it is. Her Majesty the Tsaritsa left to vanquish that beast her...
Do you think people still feel the cold after they die? I'm wondering about Shram. Oh, maybe we should...
Death itself is cold, isn't it? I'm sure...
Well, I hope he has a safe journey. I'm going to miss him, I think. Thinking back on it, we barely made it. Once we get out of here, how are we going to explain what happened to their...
Are you okay? Here, take...
Look who's Mr. Nice Guy all of a sudden. Is it because Tonya stood up for you this morning? At least...
Yeah, without Tonya, who knows how badly he would have been hurt.
I told you already, I never intended to resort to...
Bunch of... little girl? I was rather surprised when you spoke up for me this morning. I didn't...
Oh, no need to thank...
I've been... too embarrassed to admit it, but so kind to everyone. But never lets her old man off the hook. Unless my wife... Especially when she was little. All right, easy now.
I don't know.
Are you taking anything for it?
Yeah.
I'll be fine once I see my brother. He's gonna pick some frost fairy.
I see.
We should probably discuss arrangements for tonight, now that the deceased has left our midst. However, out of an abundance of caution...
Shouldn't we take shifts?
No need. I managed to get a nap in earlier, so I have plenty of energy right now. After all the tension of the past few days...
What a long day. This whole situation turned, but Valeri's right. I should just try to calm down and get some rest.
पहुंच जाऊंगा मैं वहां पे, फिर से मर जाएगा कोई ना कोई.
He's awake. He's awake! Get over here, you big lug, and take a look.
If you must call me something, call me Mr. Door. The Black Mist is coming. You need to go.
Are you all right? Can you walk? We just got attacked by monsters on our way up. That Mr. Door fellow he just seemed to come out of nowhere. Not much of a talker, but when it comes to taking down monsters... Curses! The Black Mist is catching up to us. We need to keep going. Mr. Door, I don't believe I've ever seen you around here before. Why is that?
There's no need to try to get to know me. I'm just Mr. Door. I have to find the door that belongs to me.
Mr. Door! Looking for trouble! Get rid of them!
I can just push these ones off.
Oh, well, anyway, we're lucky to have you here. Thanks for saving us earlier.
No need to thank me. This is where my duty lies.
को वेलेरी क्या कर रहा है भाई? मैं ही मारूंगा इसको. मर गया मैं तो. वेलेरी भाई मार क्यों नहीं रहा तू उनको?
Looking for trouble?
क्या वेलेरी को इंगेज करना पड़ेगा? वेलेरी कहाँ है?
Just you, boy.
हेल्थ बढ़ा देता हूँ पहले. मारूंगा तुझे. कहाँ गया वो? मर गया क्या वो? पता मुझे लगा वेलेरी खुद आएगा साथ में मारने के लिए.
So we're doing this. In case.
Remarkable work, Mr. Door. If I had your muscles, I'd do the same.
अच्छा भयंकर. भागो भागो भागो. कोई मरना नहीं चाहिए आज यार.
Are none of these doors the one you're looking for?
No.
Come closer. My command.
Fighting frog.
Impossible.
I'm so... Wait, look! There's more monsters down there. Are they coming from within the black... No! They're gaining on us. Quick, keep going, or they'll be at our heel.
भागो 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 जल्दी.
Mr. Door, what are you doing? We need to...
Found it. This is my door.
What?
I am a door. This is where my duty lies.
No! You saved us. We can't leave you behind.
You must keep going. A door can only keep things out for so long. You must...
But... Oh, you're right. Let's go. The black
ए, अब
mist
ये
isn't
मर
moving
जाएगा.
anymore. Looks like both the monsters and I... Surely I wasn't so scared out of my mind that I... hallucinate. Oh, okay, good. There's no. Getting sleepy? Well, looks like we're safe for.
बेबी वैलेरी मर जाएगा क्या? तो बढ़िया कैरेक्टर लग रहा था मुझे.
What time is it? Is it, I guess, everyone's still asleep? These past 2 days have been exhausting. Valeri's keeping watch. Valeri?
अरे क्या वैलेरी भैंस की. क्या है यो? क्या प्रॉब्लम?
Wake up! Everyone needs to wake.
तो
Just like the last 2 nights. No. I've been a real thorn in your side, haven't I, Mr. Valeri? But for me, life will be all the duller for not having to run away from you, my friend.
How's Tonya?
I just checked on her, and it doesn't seem like anything serious. She's just exhausted from the past couple of days, and she's still.
That means Valeri was the only.
If Valeri was awake and keeping watch, it would have been impossible to kill him without waking everyone else up.
This is so frustrating. Why has nothing changed since yesterday? I thought we already.
Actually, one thing has changed. There's only one victim this time, not 2.
Can a death at night? But Mr. Schramm was. No similar case. After the deceased, it's a reasonable conclusion. The number of people who die each night is equivalent to the number of dead among us. That's your theory, right?
Exactly. We identified Mr. Schramm, and the night after he left, the death toll dropped from. By that logic, there must be one more dead person left.
Another one? But there was only one person unaccounted for in the ticket checks, right?
Having an extra person was definitely a cause for alarm, but being one person short isn't nearly as unusual. Someone could have left in the middle of the show, or made it out before the.
One more dead person among us. If Mitya's theory is right, it's just, at the time, we had no reason to think. If only we'd taken it more seriously as a possibility.
I'm sorry. This is my fault. I had information that could have been helpful, but I held back.
I'm partly to blame as well. I was too quick to dismiss Odette's concerns.
What is this about? What have you two been getting up to behind my back?
Sounds like there's some big news you've been keeping from the rest of us.
बता दे अब भयंकर की मित्या तो मर गया था.
Wow,
Odette and I talked about it yesterday, but we thought it just wasn't possible, so we.
Yeah, I don't blame you. If I'd been there, I probably would have reached the same conclusion. Let me just try and verify this. I just scoured my memories trying to think back to the afternoon Miss Odette mentioned. But I honestly have no recollection of dying. That's where I'm different than Mr. Schramm.
Having seen Mr. Mitya a few days ago myself, I also find it hard to believe.
Well, if it isn't Mitya, then.
If you don't mind me asking, Traveler, I believe you mentioned that you know Tonya's brother. Had you ever met her?
No, never.
Now, just 1 minute. I know where this is going. You can't just randomly point a finger at anyone you want. You're in the hot seat, and all of a sudden you want to divert.
Trying to pick a fight, Mr. Chuganov? Whenever you open your mouth, all you do is attack people.
You!
Did Mitya ask about Tonya because I suppose I only identified her by age, and nothing.
I'm just saying, you're going around casting suspicion on people for no reason. How could Tonya be? I can vouch for her if nothing else. I've seen her before. She's the sister of that.
Oh, really?
Since being here, I don't think I ever mentioned she was Child's sister specifically.
If Chuganov can vouch for her, then it can't be Tonya either. In which case, It seems unlikely that there's another dead person among. Miss Odette, could you go over that afternoon with me one more time? When you found me dead.
No problem.
Huh. No matter how hard I try, I just can't remember anything about dying. Miss Vojanitsa, during our last meal together, I told you how some of the researchers were suffering from temporary memory loss. Do you
Oh, yeah. You said it was hindering the progress of your
Right. And even though I don't remember dying that day, I'm pretty sure I experienced some of my memories from that afternoon.
Are you suggesting you're missing the memory of your...
Of course. How am I only just realizing this? Humans aren't necessarily...
You mean being silently assassinated? Or dying in your...
The researcher's amnesia. I must thank you, Odette. I think your perspective just helped me reach a breakthrough on a series of issues that have been troubling me for quite some... All right. It's decided then.
Oh, leave! Hey, wait a minute! Aren't you rushing into...
Come on, kid. Aren't you gonna fight for your life?
I have other reasons beyond what's been discussed. I remember during Miss Odette's performance, while I was sitting in the audience stalls, a brilliant new idea for my research popped into my mind. But then, my train of... I can't remember it now at all. And I didn't take any notes. I guess that must be another instance of temporary...
No. Hold on. I see where you're going with this. You're suggesting that each instance of temporary amnesia is a death. There's a glaringly obvious flaw in that idea, no? How can...
I believe Miss Odette's account. During the period where my memory is blank, I must have been either dead or all it would take is for the same thing to happen in the theater, and I would come under the effect of the ley lines in this vicinity. This increases the likelihood of me being the deceased, does it not?
But...
There's no evidence to suggest that anyone other than me is a candidate for the deceased. So allow me, as a scientist, please relax everyone. I don't think things are as bad as they may seem. If I really am the deceased, then to leave the theater will be a relief for me. If, on the other hand, I'm still alive right now, well, apparently you've all witnessed my resurrection recently anyway. Who's to say I won't return from the dead again this time?
Mitya's right. This is the only thing we can try right now. I think he's deliberately downplaying the gravity of the...
What is a scientist if not someone who gambles on experiment after experiment in an with this snowstorm, the ley line phenomenon, ghosts of the dead, and my amnesia? We've been paralyzed by not knowing and powerless to do anything about it.
भाई सीरियस हो रहा है
If I do get resurrected, you can be sure that I'll come back with a true...
तो उसका पता नहीं चला अभी तक भयंकरी जो इसका चलने वाला हुआ है मरे जा रहे हैं भाई मरे जा रहे हैं सभी मरेंगे क्या भयंकर क्या करूं मैं सो जाऊं फिर से
Poor Mr. Mitya. I didn't even get to see him one last time.
Maybe it's a good thing that you weren't there to see it. It was a hard thing to watch.
I hate goodbyes. Why does it feel like everyone around me is slowly disappearing? Not just in here, I mean. In the outside world, too.
Maybe it's the realization that, at the end of life, come to think of it, you could take it a step. If I make it out...
Without regret, I feel like a strain...
Shit, man.
Are you okay?
If something's bug...
I have a travel
You're worried about her, aren't
To be honest,
Shit यार
but with Paimon by my side, over time, she loves eating over the last few...
डायमंड नहीं यार सही बात है
But by the
भयंकर
time I snap out of it, the conversation has already moved on. I'm trying to overcome this sense of detachment, but I really miss Paimon.
I bet she misses you when you're not there.
I don't know if this will make you feel any better, but back when the water imps left Sneznaya in droves, I could be surrounded by... Later on, all we can do, so...
Thank you.
But what do you...
That's just the choice. Like I said before, our songs have... But does a story so I made the choice.
Could you?
A fan after my own heart. Thank you, Tonya.
गाना गाने वाली के तो मरते रहेंगे लोग यार। फिट तो गाना गा रही है। मैंने म्यूजिक बंद किया हुआ है तो शायद मुझे सुनाई नहीं देगा।
I've never heard that one before. I feel like I can.
Color me impressed, Tonya. Most people can only tell if a song is happy or sad. I didn't think you'd be able to pick.
So,
I've actually never performed this song in the theater before. Because it has more of a ceremonial purpose for our people. It means something like, may those we have lost watch over us, and follow this song back home in the night.
no wonder I could hear that.
It's getting
लंबा हुआ
late.
है यार ये।
Okay, of course.
वो जेनिस इट्स पे है ना एक प्रिंस की तरह।
Once I get out of here, I definitely don't plan on. But I guess that means I'll never get to hear Vodia needs us singing before I fall asleep.
मैन फिर से सो रहा है, फिर से कोई टपक जाएगा आज यार। पहुंच गया मैं वहीं फिर से।
Where it's so dark in here, and I feel kind of
ओ माय गॉड भूत सोनिया लग रही है तो।
Return, O spirits. Fulfill your oath of protection. No time for questions. Quick, over here. Turn on the switch. All right, we're safe. The spirit, sort of. I know it's hard, but you can't let this place go dark, or she'll kill. Yep. Luckily, I was here to resurrect you. Otherwise,
a bit more than a bummer, I'd say.
sure I do. I'm your guardian spirit. I specialize in soul recall.
Thanks.
All right, there's no time to waste. The black mist is already catching up. We need to avoid it at night prayer at all. We need to reach the next switch before the place gets too dark. If we bring the light back, night prayer won't be able to get to us. Sweet, sweet light! It's back! Now that's a sight for sore eyes. Shh! It's night prayer. We need to move quick, but don't let her notice you.
कहाँ जाऊँ मैं? ऊपर जाना है भाई साहब। तो नया आ गया इस बार भाई।
Look out!
ओ शिट मैं गिर गया। शिट मरने दे तो। अरे भयंकर। रास्ते में खड़ी रहेगी तो मैं जाऊंगा कैसे भाई? अरे नूब है तो लुल्सी है, कुछ कर भी नहीं पा रही है। नाइट प्रेयर।
The next switch is over there.
ओह शिट। किसी का टूटा नहीं वो फिर? तो कंप्लीट हो गया, वाओ गुड। भगाते रहते हैं मेरे को भयंकर। भागले जल्दी, इससे पहले क्यों गिरे।
No, Night Prayer is here too. This can't be the only path. Return, O spirits. Fulfill your oath of protection.
ऊपर से चल जाऊंगा फिर मैं।
The switch is just up ahead. Hurry!
भाग। क्यों नहीं कर रहा है, पहुंच भी नहीं पा रहा
It's too
ढंग से।
dark. We're not gonna make it. Come on, faster! Traveler!
मर गया मेरे से।
Won't let you die like this. Not on my watch.
जिंदा कर फिर, खुद मर जाएगी मुझे लग रहा है।
Even though it's not permanent, dying is definitely not.
Great.
Yeah.
Time for you to get out of here.
What about you?
I can't. I've already been used up. A guardian spirit's skills are finite. I can only I might not look any different. But my essence, I can go no further.
Why didn't
Oh
you
shit.
Because.
But
Go. Now.
लाइट किसने जलाई, मैंने तो जलाई नहीं।
What do you need, sir?
तो अब मेन कैरेक्टर बनने शुरू।
Well, I guess there's...
This wasn't supposed to happen. You lied to us, didn't you, Chuganov?
Take a long, hard look at yourself before you go around. I suspected you on day one, Lelik, and now look where we are. By some. And you, little hunter, ever so content with staying on the sidelines. Yet you were the one who stopped us from leaving.
Now you're just lashing out indiscriminately. That's either where was all this passion and...
Is that a threat?
after all the trauma of the past few days, Valeria and Mitya aren't here anymore. Someone else needs to step up and... But first, I need to think this through. He's arguably the first friend we made after arriving in Sneznaya. I clearly remember Mr. Chuganov from the first time I visited the theater. He made quite an impression.
मरा हुआ है फिर इनमें से ये।
Of those who remain, the only person we've never met before is Tonya. People are easily misled by first impressions. Now that I think about it, Child's sister was in fact a label, but Mr. Chuganov vouched for Tonya's identity yesterday. Tonya, how's Tusser been lately?
Tusser?
Your brother Ajax must have mentioned me in his letters home, right? Did he say anything about a blonde traveler?
No. And my brother's name is Razik, not Ajax.
Oh,
Chuganov, looks like it's your turn to do some explaining. Yesterday, you said you could vouch for Tonya. Why did you give us a false testimony?
I knew you were behind this, Chuganov. You've been lying through your teeth from the start. Everything about you is fake. Down to the wife and daughter you're always talking about. Your entire family man persona is a charade, isn't it? That night, when I infiltrated your place as Lelik, I noticed you were home alone. Didn't think much of it at the time. Just thought everyone else was out. But thinking back on it now, that doesn't seem very likely. My guess is, you live alone, don't you?
Even that was a lie? But why would he lie about having a family?
Oh, curses. Oh, why is there no end to this blasted snowstorm? If it would just stop. If it would just stop.
I think I remember now. I know how I ended up here. It feels like a distant memory.
Oh yeah, यही थी
The
क्या?
reason I'm always coughing is because I got sick with frostbite. It's not a very common illness. It's partly after a while, I felt myself growing weaker and weaker. So one day, I told my brother that I wanted him to take me outside for once. He agreed. He snuck me out of the hospital. We got to the theater, bought tickets, and went inside. Oh, it was all so exciting.
Oh,
When I woke up, I couldn't find my brother anywhere, but there's no way he'd leave me behind. So I decided to stay here and wait for him. At the time... Tonya, it sounds like... Yeah, I know. I understand now. After all of that, it turns out I can't blame my brother after. I'm sorry, everyone. I realized this much too late.
Your name probably isn't even Tonya, is it? Didn't that ever strike you as odd over the last few days?
Well, when I was little, my brother and I read a storybook. And Tonya, when we escaped from the hospital, our family in the hospital. So when you first approached me and said my brother had sent you, and called me, I thought he must have chosen a fake name that only the two of us would know. Because he was afraid of getting caught. At least your memory of death isn't painful. Now it's your turn, Chuganov. Talk to us. I believe no...
You're right. I was lying. And yes, the truth of the matter is, I lost them. A long time ago. My daughter's name was Iskra. And before you ask, yes, Iskra, as in Iskra Manufacturing Plant. She also died from the snow cough. She was just after Iskra passed. My wife couldn't bear to face those memories either. So one day when I came home from work and saw the empty room, I soon discovered that this was the only thing that made me feel...
Nothing more than a pathetic means of escapism, I know. So explain your false...
The night before last, when I was chatting with Tonya, she mentioned that her brother would brew medicine for... Combined with her various symptoms, I suddenly understood. The snow cough used to be an incurable illness. I would pick frost fairy flower leaves to brew medicine for Iskra too. But the year after my daughter passed away, the jester of the Fatui announced that a cure for frost blight, also known as the snow cough, it turned out that all previous treatments were completely ineffective. That was the final straw for me. I just couldn't take it anymore. Just one more year. One more year. So, more than anyone, I know full well that in this day and age, no one in their right mind would still be using frost flower leaves to brew medicine. Poor Miss Tonya, therefore, had to have been from an era when snow cough was still a term.
So, you projected your daughter onto her? Even though you knew she was one of the dead?
That doesn't make any sense. You knew she was already dead. What did you...
I just don't believe in your crackpot theories. How can you just declare a living person dead and throw them out into that snow? Nitia's gone. My good buddy Shram's gone. And now it's Tonya. The others I can make my peace with. But little Miss Tonya, here she is, standing right in front of us, alive. I just want her to live. Once this snowstorm is over, the very moment it stops, I'm going to march out that door and find someone who can fetch the very best medicine for her snow cough. I'll be damned if I'm gonna let you cast her out into the snowstorm before I... Not again! Not this time! Not when the cure is right!
Mr. Chuganov, by the sounds of it, You've known I was dead since the night. I really liked Mr. Valeri, Mr. Mitya, and Miss Vodyanitsa. I'm not happy about that. The reality is, you've been trying to fight your own demons through me.
No! Listen.
Well, at this point, I'm quite sure that I'm dead. I don't need to be saved. Despite all the bad things that kept happening, since the day I escaped, I'm very fond of you all. If it were all... And that's why I'm not fond of you at all, Mr. Chugun. It's them that you owe an apology to. Well then, I suppose...
You're leaving already? It's still early. Don't you?
No. My name is Patashka. It was night. Feels strange that we're only being properly introduced now that it's...
Tashka.
What are you doing, Chuganov? Are you crazy?
Let me leave.
In your dreams. Don't think you're getting off that easy when you had a hand in the deaths of... The Fatui have honed quite an array of enhanced interrogation techniques since they were founded. Once we're out of here...
क्या करेंगे साथ में सोना चाहिए इन सबको
I think we should leave. I doubt this snowstorm is ever going to stop. For all we know, this storm might have destroyed all of Sneznaya by now.
Wait, we finally solved the mystery of the haunted theater today. Maybe let's at least try to enjoy tonight?
Fair enough. I don't particularly feel like dying in Chuganov's company anyway.
And yet you won't let me die first.
Hey, Chuganov, on a serious note, if we do make it out of here, you should close down that
Is this really the time to be discussing my fact? All right, fine. I'll shut...
कोई आया
Am
भयंकर
I hearing things? Or was... There it is again. But I don't understand.
Should we open the door?
Is this it? Is this... If the last few days are anything to go, whatever lies...
अब मुझे लग रहा है एलुएश तो नहीं आ जाएगा कोई बता रहा था मुझे भयंकर कि एलुएश फेक सा है ये वाला चल जल्दी फंस कहाँ जा रहा है हाँ इधर आ जा हाँ इधर सॉरी गाइस कोई है तो है नहीं वैसे मैं किसको बोल रहा हूँ मित्तिया वापस आ गए वे
Hey, everyone.
How are you doing?
Much better, thanks. Whew, it is so good to have you. Let me see. Tonya and Vodyanitsa died last night. And then you just...
Not Tonya.
First, tell us how you made it back here, given the conditions outside.
You're right. The thing that got me back safely was... a song. I heard someone singing. After walking into the snowstorm, my mind grew hazy. I don't know how long I walked through the storm before my mind completely slipped away. Then, suddenly, I heard the sound of singing. The voice instantly brought me back to my senses, and I regained consciousness. So I followed the voice, searching for the source of the singing. I searched and searched, until finally, just a few moments...
I've actually never performed this song in the theater before. Because it means something like...
That must have been Vodyanitsa's Requiem.
That song is meant to guide the souls of the dead.
Huh. No kidding. Huh? When I first stepped out of the theater, I was still quite lucid. My memory of it, I remember the outside world being completely different than what I'd expected. It was like... this was a world where only the snowstorm existed. I don't know how else to describe it, except to say that... it just... And as for the Requiem, if I was guided here by Vodyanitsa's song, it can only mean that I must already be dead. But I didn't experience a clear moment of death while I was out there. Nor do I feel any different now than before I walked into the snowstorm.
You don't seem any different to me either. In fact, this is something I've been wondering about for a while now. Both Shram and Patoshka were clearly deceased, and yet their souls didn't look or feel like ghosts.
This raises a truly terrible thought. Mitya's soul was summoned back by the Requiem, confirming that he is indeed already dead. And yet, he looks no
तो सभी
different
मर
from
गए.
us. Of course. If even the long deceased like Mr. Shram can blend it, then maybe we've all been dead from the very start.
सब मर गए क्या?
Yes. I think
What did you say?
Shit, man.
you heard me. We died in the theater. All of us did. But due to an obstruction in the theater's ley lines, our souls are trapped here, while an endless, infinite snowstorm rages outside. It's ironic, really. All that time, we were working so hard to figure out who the deceased among us were, when the truth was, we were all deceased. The only difference being some of us died more recently than others. Do you remember that note, "Death is near"? Seems like we misunderstood what it meant after all. Death was nearer than we wanted to think all along. The note simply meant that all of us were already dead.
So all our attempts to survive, our search for the deceased, it was all for nothing?
Hard to say. At the very least, we helped 2 lost souls find clarity and go to where they belong. The presence of those 2 is probably what caused our souls to be drawn in by the ley lines. In which case, the deaths we've awoken to over the past few days were just souls returning to the ley lines for good.
If what you're saying is true, doesn't that make us the lost souls now? Huh, no wonder. This afternoon, when I was moving Vodyanitsa's body, I noticed that the other bodies in the room hadn't decayed one bit after all these days.
That's further proof that those aren't physical bodies at all, but merely our shells here in the afterlife.
Am I really dead? This doesn't feel real to me at all. No, that's impossible. This cannot be how it all ends.
I still find it hard to believe that all of us are dead. How exactly did we die in the real world? None of us have any memories of dying, right?
Not even knowing how we died is preposterous. Good grief! Surely there has to be some reason.
Exactly. It's hard to rest in peace when you don't even know how you died. It gave me lots to think about as I strode out into the snowstorm. I racked my brains trying to remember the cause of my death, the exact moment I died, the root of all of this, right up until my consciousness faded. Wait. Hold on. Right before I lost consciousness, I think I saw something. I can't remember.
Mitya, your hand.
Huh? You're right. There's blood on the fingertips of my right hand. Looks like it's already dried. When did that happen? What the? I guess this was what I saw. I must have desperately drawn it in my own blood right before losing consciousness. What's wrong? Do you recognize this?
It's Renova.
Huh?
Alosha, do you still remember that Sneznayan folktale you told me about? It was about the Grim Reaper. When someone's about to die, he appears, and as soon as you recognize his face, your life is over.
I heard a similar tale when I was little. You think the Grim Reaper in this story
That's right. In which case, death is near could also mean that the Grim...
Death, the deceased, and when I first saw this note, I thought it contradicted the investigation report. But now it seems like...
So the Grim Reaper deliberately misled us. Then we started
By that logic, the one person most likely to be the Grim Reaper incarnate is... No doubt about it. It's Alosha. Looking back at how everyone has acted over the past few days, Alosha is most likely the Grim Reaper lurking among us. Is it you, Alosha? You were the first to discover the investigation report, and you had plenty of time to slip the note inside to mislead us.
So? Surely you can't suspect me based on that alone. What if someone else found the investigation report first, slipped the note inside, and then put it...
There's no denying it. The note could easily have been slipped in much earlier than it was discovered.
That's not all. I've also noticed that although on the surface, Valeri, Mitya, and sometimes looking back now, even though you didn't say much, you were always subtly guiding everyone from the sidelines.
What do you mean?
You were the one who emphasized how dangerous it was outside and insisted we all stay here. It was also you who suggested that we all sleep in the same place. And earlier today, you tried to convince Patashka to stay. I don't understand why, but it was out of character.
So, you didn't understand my intentions, and now you're assuming the worst.
He still won't admit it. Fine.
The biggest question I have right now is, if the Grim Reaper is impersonating Alosha,
that's right. This was the moment right at the start. Before any victims had even emerged, Alosha was swift. When all this began, right after the performance ended and the snowstorm began to pick up, no one suspected. It wasn't until we discovered the bodies the morning after that we realized. But it's clear now that the oddities actually started earlier than that. When Dimov walked into the snowstorm.
right. So Mr. Dimov was the first victim, not Sobolova and Torgov.
And if we pinpoint that moment as the beginning of this incident, then Alosha, you are the only person who walked into the snowstorm and came back.
More precisely, Alosha never came back at all. The one who...
Not bad. Well, since you've backed me into a corner, I suppose there's no point in keeping up the act anymore.
भाई साहब फ्री हो गई भाई You dropped that.
Alasha?
You're the Grim Reaper?
I am no such tired cliché. Mortals should address me as the ruler of death. Before being wiped out for good, you identified the two deceased, and even sensed my presence. A commendable achievement.
I heard you can ferry souls. Those deaths each night. Were they your...
Your initial conclusion was correct. Due to the existence of the two deceased, every night they devoured an equal number of souls to fill the void. This required no intervention from me. Here, take a look.
What are you doing?
That takes care of today's Don't get so worked up. You are already dead.
I know we're already dead. You murdered a...
Murdered? No. Murder is when mortals usurp my authority. Death is my jurisdiction. If I require someone to die, I need not resort. You simply met the criteria to trigger my...
I know about the curse of immortality. So you cursed us? When? And why would you do...
So often, humans pray to me, begging to know when their death will come, and what form it will take. But few people ask why. If you must have an answer, know that...
So you're not gonna tell us the truth?
Hold your tongue. By all rights, those angels from the past are to blame for the reckless renovation of the ley lines here. It's made my work...
Work? So trapping us here, making us watch our friends die, that's just another day at work.
You clearly have a lot of questions. Fine. As a reward for your remarkable accomplishments over the past few days, after the physical body dies, the soul must return to the ley lines. My work encompasses the entire process of death, including, naturally, the guiding of souls into the ley. You must also be rather familiar with Natlan's Night Kingdom, I presume? It was I who supported the creation of the Night Kingdom. It provided a convenient means of guiding the souls of Natlan. Here, too, the ley lines connected to the theater underwent some modifications. The angels hoped to make them capable, but this actually hindered their ability to accept ordinary souls to some degree. This effect manifested itself after you died from the curse in the theater, leaving you stranded in the afterlife. Unable, but if souls who die from the curse of death fail to return to the ley lines within a short window of time, then they will remain forever suspended between life and death. No.
So if you don't resolve this matter soon, and see all our souls return to the ley lines before long...
Mitya's sharp. This must be what Renova was worried might happen. But if you have the authority to guide souls, why didn't you just show yourself and get it over with?
You seek to understand the mind of a god. This is a theater, and I decided I wanted to watch a show about death. That's why I found myself getting quite immersed. I suppose the entertainment you provided makes up for all the trouble you've caused me by being so defiant in the face of death. There. Are you happy with my answer?
Can't say I am.
Really? But it fits the stereotypes you humans...
Just moments ago, you were complaining about how infuriatingly complicated... Work is work, I get it. There are times when it's a huge pain, but you just have to get it done.
That's a rather unique perspective for a human. You are in fact correct. There is a pain point due to the obstruction in the theater's ley lines. There is a hard limit on the number of souls they can receive each day. Revealing my identity too soon would inevitably have led to futile resistance. And there was a risk that any... Then there was the issue of the two lost souls you called the deceased. The way you resolved that...
That's what I don't understand. If all of us were souls of the dead, what made the...
For centuries, they have refused to return to the ley lines, exploiting the issues created by the centuries of obsession accumulated during this process. You may think of this obsession as the resentment of the dead, and in this quantity, it was a bomb that could have detonated. It reached the point where I could not afford to leave it unchecked. But the only way to fix it was to help them acknowledge their own deaths. Make peace with their... Only then, with my guidance, could they finally return to the ley lines. Otherwise...
I vaguely remember seeing Batashka, but in the most terrifying form. Was that in a dream?
I see your dreams brought you many revelations. So you see, death in fact grants wisdom to mortals. Souls connect anyway. Giving psychological counseling to lost souls is not my strong suit. That is more of an angel's role. It was something I could not resolve directly using my authority, so I decided it was easier to leave the bomb defusal to you. Meanwhile, of course, their presence caused the souls of other members of your party to return to the ley lines each night. From where I stand, that was killing two birds with one. As both issues slowly resolved one another without me having to lift a finger, all I had to do was stay close by and keep the situation under control. Then use my authority to wrap things up at the end. And, of course, while I was at it, I thoroughly enjoyed watching this drama, dealing with death from a mortal perspective, play out on the stage.
Sounds like you had it all figured out. I just did the math. You said there's a hard limit to the number of souls the ley lines here can...
That much is obvious.
It's time to review this whole affair. If the ley lines can only take in 2 people per day...
हिसाब लगा रहा है ये.
Looking back now, none of us had the faintest idea at the time. From the moment that staff member named Demoff walked into the snowstorm, the incident had already begun. No, Let me go over this again. Alosha was the second to walk into the snowstorm during this process. The ruler of death assumed his During our first night in the theater, everyone was caught up in the novelty of it all. No one could have expected there would be victims the very next morning. Despite all the confusion, and with the help of hindsight, we finally began to realize that something was amiss with the snowstorm. The ley lines devoured Torgov and Sobolova on the first night. At the time, we thought this might... Odette and I spoke a lot that night. 3 people were on watch, but in the morning, we discovered that someone had fallen victim all the same. The deaths of Kulit unexplainable phenomena occurred one after another, leading Mitya to... Later, we discovered that there seemed to be an extra person among us, and subsequently discovered the existence of the deceased. Mr. Schramm. He thought it was all a lot happened. The fact that there was more than one deceased seemed to bring us back to square one. Odette revealed some information she had been keeping to herself. Although Mitya did... The void in the ley lines... Vodyanitsa was... As it happened, the girl I thought was child sis, come to think of it, and Renova, unaware that Mitya would return, looking back. No one could have expected anyone who walked into the snowstorm to return. But just after nightfall, Mitya returned, bringing crucial information with him. Various truths began to surface, including that all of us were already dead, and that the ruler of death was here among us. Then, after revealing her true form, Renova callously claimed 2 souls. In fact, everyone was already dead by the time we took the photo. And in the days since, now, only Mitya and I remain. And the true culprit behind everything still... That covers everything.
Your work isn't finished here yet, is it? The Traveler and I are
The Water Imp's song threw things off a little. But the ley lines have already anchored your soul, and the first ray of light tomorrow morning will take you back.
So the reunion in the night that Vodyanitsa mentioned, I suppose that was never meant to...
That just leaves you, Traveler. My power only allows me to temporarily... And your soul is firmly anchored to your body by your... For a descender like you, who is not bound by Tevat's rules. Your death can only be brought through... I have no interest in involving myself with descenders. For now. Although, this may change if Asmodee remains missing. Or you insist...
One last question then. All our struggles and sacrifices here.
Death abides no reason. Besides, what you call sacrifice, to me, it is nothing more than a self-indulgent
Grim Reaper, you really know how to get on my nerves.
I'm not here to ingratiate myself with you. I kill merely because your deaths are necessary.
Oh, you've made that quite clear. But humans don't take well to being scorned. Not even by the gods.
This is futile. You must know that you are powerless against me in my own domain. I suggest that you save your strength.
For what? Maybe we can't change anything. But if nothing else, we can at least teach you to have some respect for the dead.
भाई मित्या तो बढ़िया लग रहा है भयंकर देखने में. Oh my god. मार दिया ना उसको. असली फॉर्म में आएगी क्या? ओ बाय बाय बाय. Shit. सब मर गए तो. सब जिंदा हो गए. कुछ तो मिला मुझे. चलो.
How are you holding up?
What?
How much do you...
What do you mean?
Has Odette already...
सब भूल गए भाई क्या हुआ.
Mitya?
Oh, I'm sorry. I guess...
Don't you remember anything?
Yeah, I remember now, comrade. Looks like we guessed right. Just like me when Odette found me at the Armory Palace. For some reason, everyone killed by the Ruler of Death, just with one catch. They forgot what happened while they were dead.
Odette and the others have already forgotten everything. What?
Could this be the reason? You said this is the Ruler of Death's
हाथ
symbol,
कैसा
right?
है?
I don't see it.
You don't? Huh. Okay, I guess that makes sense. Does that mean I carved this symbol into my soul? What an unsettling thought. What about you, though? The Ruler of Death mentioned that you're a
A full explanation would get complicated very quickly.
Well then, now that it's all over, let's figure out what we've learned. The first thing I notice is that everything here is precisely as we left it, right before our deaths. This confirms that time passes differently in the afterlife than in the...
They say that right before death, time slows down.
That must be how you know you have one foot in the afterlife by that point. Anyway, clearly the few days we spend in the afterlife probably only amounted to a few short minutes in the... This also aligns with previous reports of widespread temporary memory loss among the Armory Palace personnel. Now it seems likely that those were all brief death. To those unaware of the truth, dying and coming back to life must feel similar to it. This leaves me with a couple big questions. What are the conditions that trigger this so-called curse of death?
If nothing else, I think it shows that killing us wasn't her ultimate goal.
Right. This time only got complicated because of the situation with the theater's ley lines. That's why she had to approach it differently. If the previous incidents of amnesia among the researchers are anything to go by, killing us is usually a pretty routine. Come to think of it, wasn't I about to note something down before I died? I can't remember what it was, but I think it was something related to my research project. Sorry, Traveler. I'll catch up with you again later.
Sir, if I may, no one of your description has ever shown up in mine, yet you two seem very familiar with each other. Could you perhaps tell? And by the way, have we ever crossed paths? Forgive the presumptuousness, but I feel a vague and indescribable.
I can explain everything. Could you help me gather everyone in the theater in one place?
अभी दिया मैंने सबको पर सही हुआ टाइम वेस्ट नहीं किया भाई ने मेरा
So Chuganov really is going to shut down the factory. I guess this theater incident actually did us some good after all. So, you said I promised to take you to the armory. Agreed.
चलो 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 तो मैं देखता हूँ क्या मिला मुझे बस इतनी सी फाइट में हो गई क्या मुझे लगा कि सरवाइव द आफ्टर वो खुद ही अपने आप ही हो गया मेरे को करना भी नहीं पड़ा यार ऐसे कैसे अचीवमेंट देते यार चलो now what return to your room to check on Paimon
Wheel of Life.
बेटर रहता है यार डेली
I'm finally back. Even though a long time has passed from my perspective, I should keep my emotions in check when I see Paimon.
Wait. The atmosphere here feels. Shh. Stay quiet.
गड़बड़ है क्या
Have we still not been able to notify Child yet? We need new orders. What if that... I'm so sorry.
Tell me, what happened?
It was the Jester. He came here in person and he's the director of the Fatui. His authority supersedes all others and cannot be questioned.
How long ago did he leave? And what was.
It was about an hour ago. Miss Paimon was fast asleep at the time. The Jester simply walked off with her as if it was only natural.
Do you know where they went?
The Armory Palace, most likely. Lord Piero, the Jester, has been overseeing the experiments there lately, keeping a close eye on their progress. Everyone. I'm surprised he came in person. Whatever his reason for taking Paimon, he'll.
Then lead the way.
Okay, let's.
हम जाएंगे जेस्चर को पेलने में अंकल साला पाइमन को कैसे उठा के लेके चले गए
It's just up ahead. Quick, let's get inside.
No, I'll go alone. You know I'm planning to force my way in. You're with the Fatui, so you should stay outside.
I was hardly planning on taking you through the official channels anyway. I'm here to force my way in. I may be a Fatus, but I'm also. Paimon's safety is paramount.
If you say so.
चलो भाई जल्दी टाइम वेस्ट मत करो
Hey, who are you? This part of the Armory Palace is under restricted access. What do you think you're doing?
No questions, please. We're short on time.
Close your eyes. Observe. Night falls.
अरे पंगा मतलब मेरे से अंत बुलाया तो अपने
Are you quite finished? Be silent. To dust.
Let's begin. Pirouette. Waltz of the snowflakes.
शिट यार अल्ट वेस्ट हो गया फालतू काम भी नहीं आया सबको मारना है क्या ये यार बहन को ऑलरेडी तो चुपचाप जा ही सकती थी तो क्या लड़ने की जरूरत थी इतना हेल्थ बढ़ा लेते हैं पहले फिर तो होनी नहीं बढ़ा पहले लेते हैं गए बेटे तुम
Observe.
बेटे बेटे
Close your eyes.
वाह
The night
Your prayer is going true. Burial.
पंगा नहीं बेटे कहाँ है मेरी चीची
Rise.
ये कितने लोगों से रहना पड़ेगा यार
A new moon rises.
You have a pass? Where are you coming from? So, you're intruders, huh? Don't blame me for what happened next!
अरे मर जाएगा रे चेंज कर
No concern. Opening box of Adeptitrix. Life goes on.
हेल्थ बढ़ा लेता हूँ सबकी
Orders given. Orders received.
be silent.
आज तक नहीं भाई तू
Rise.
The Armory Palace is hidden this deep in? This place is much bigger than I imagined.
They're conducting top secret research after all. The deeper it's hidden, the better, is standard Fatui logic.
The style doesn't really look like the Fatui's handiwork, though.
They must have requisitioned some structures from a past civilization.
Looks like
It
we're
also-
in for a tough fight.
Intruders! Stay alert!
The long sleep beckons.
यार तब पे खेला नहीं जाता ढंग से
Life goes on.
तो उड़ा ही लेता हूँ जब पता है।
Intruders? Don't come any closer!
ये कौन है बे
Just what are you guys trying to do here?
Short work of your scalp!
No swan's birth.
Flame. Green moons converge.
Close your eyes. Observe. Steady now. Night falls.
No one interferes with a jester's work!
टेस्ट बाकी यहाँ सारे फेल कहना पड़ेगा बट यहाँ छुप के बैठे रहते हैं लोग इतने देर तक। अगर ये अंदर जाते कैसे हैं? बाहर से अंदर आने में टाइम लग जाता होगा उनको तो। साला
Looks
भयंकर।
like no one's guarding this place.
There's something off about that decoration over there. Look out!
Let's deal with these before we move on.
कैसे करेंगे डील? तो शिट बहन करे तो।
Be silent. Observe.
पे जाते हैं।
Right.
मैं बुला लेता हूँ थोड़ा सा।
The researchers here probably don't know that we're uninvited guests. Let's try not to hurt them.
Hmm? What's the big star from the theater doing here?
That's Miss Odette. She's a member of the Fatui. Don't tell me you didn't know.
Was the whole reason for Project Stuja to support the research here at the Armory Palace? Just what are the Fatui and the Tsaritsa planning?
यही क्या बना रखा है इन्होंने? इन लोग कुछ सागर भाई। आज मैं सोच रहा हूँ खत्म कर ही देता हूँ इसको पूरा। रूलर ऑफ डेथ तो आ गई थोड़ी देर पहले।
Whoa! Who are you? Never seen you around here before.
Looks like there's no way through here.
Maybe using the power of this prism could help?
क्या ये? साला जल्दीबाजी। अरे अपने आप ही पटरा देना मुझे।
I think I see some images.
It's the prism's power at play, causing images of the past to reappear, albeit only as illusions.
Paimon. And the Jester. Is this another scene from the past?
Yes. It looks quite old, though. I don't think it happened in the recent past.
What's going on here? What happened?
The source seems to be the Armory Palace. They must have started some large-scale experiment.
Wait, what if this has something to do with Paimon? We need to hurry!
We're almost there. The Armory Palace is just up ahead.
Paimon, please be okay.
Mission. A moonlit night for all. Mission. I'm always watching.
Close your eyes. Be silent. Do you fear the dark? Close your eyes.
कब आएगा पेरू?
The curse of Odette.
कर्स ऑफ डेथ फिर आ गई क्या?
Is this the afterlife again?
ए यार।
I need to find a way back to reality.
कहीं भी टपक जा रही है ये तो। अब ये कौन है? अच्छा, ये जो उसने वो डेट का वो था, ये गर्म करने वाला वो। अच्छा, भागना है क्या? मुझे सोच रहा हूँ अभी सीधा होएगा यार। वही मुझे लगा कि भयंकर सीधा होगा, मैं ये सोच रहा था, वेट कर रहा था उसका। भागो 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 भाई।
Odette? No signs of... Did Odette and... Thank you, but...
पानी मिला यार मुझे बाहर आने पे।
Sure enough, everyone here has been affected by the curse.
अरे यार shit, बच गया।
Paimon! No, wait. Paimon probably didn't escape Renova's curse either. She won't be able to respond to me right now. I'll have to find her myself.
कुछ तो था नीचे अभी। अबे वो भी बड़ा है, मित्या भी बड़ा है बे।
Mitya! Is this the laboratory he works in? What happened here to trigger the curse of death again so soon? I'll have to ask him when he wakes up. Finding Paimon has to take priority now.
जाऊँ कहाँ गए? हिटमैन गड्ढे की तो लिखना। ये जो है चलो क्वेस्ट तो खत्म करता हूँ। वो पाइमन मिल गया।
Found her. Paimon really is here.
कुछ नहीं है ये। फिर से चले गया मैं। फिर से अब आ गई मेन फाइट। ओ अब अपने असली फॉर्म में आ गई भाई।
You don't learn, do you? You've already been involved in one mass death, and now you show up at the scene of another. This might have passed for a coincidence the first time, but a second time? Judging by your expression, in that case, a word to the wise. Do not interfere in Sneznaya's affairs. A civilization that fails to learn its lesson constantly depletes its own worth. It will one day lose any reason for its existence. And as a descender, you are perfectly suited to be the lifeline to which a dying civilization might desperately cling. Consider your position carefully.
No advice needed. I'll make my own judgments.
Suit yourself. When the day of reckoning arrives, not even a descender can hope to escape unscathed. The time for resurrection fast approaches. The mortals here are not yet worthy to behold my form. That thing is coming with me.
Oh my god.
You awoke sooner than I thought. The curse of immortality is stubborn, unable to enter the ley lines, yet not content to remain a spirit.
Ruler of death. What do you want?
You perplex me. Both you and you. That thing may be a creation of Celestia, but it possesses none of Celestia's power, let alone authority. Your obsession with it baffles me. No matter, the resurrection will soon begin. It's worthless anyway. I'll reclaim it next time.
Hey, who says there'll be a next time?
Oh, abhi बिल अबे भाई मित्या उड़ गया ओ खरोच तो मार दिया भाई ने एक भाग लिया यार तो
I missed you, Paimon.
What are you talking about?
It was... you seemed to be in pretty good...
Yeah, Paimon's back in tip-top condition. It's the weirdest thing. The jester and that guy talking to him used some kind of energy on Paimon. And she could kind of feel it canceling out that other thing that was making her feel unwell.
So, Mitya helped too?
Apologies for leaving in such a hurry at the theater earlier. I was in a rush to verify. Rest assured that your companion is perfectly safe. We reversed the effects that the experimental energy had on her. The jester specifically instructed me to do so.
I suppose this is our first official meeting, Traveler. I could not let Paimon suffer in her condition for a moment longer. And so I
But why would a big shot like...
As I said when you first arrived in Sneznaya, we once...
Oh yeah! You did mention that! And Paimon did...
I'm afraid the reminiscing will have to wait. Mitya, let us continue with the report. What conclusions, if any, did you reach from...
The good news is, my hypothesis regarding the ruler of death As for the bad news, I recommend we suspend the experiments and Project Mistleton until further notice. Currently, we have no means with which to make a breakthrough. I say this purely as a scientist, guided by reason alone.
I will trust your judgment. We shall put the...
Wait! What are you guys talking about? You want to get...
By whatever means necessary, so long as it removes the threat she poses to us. Until then, everything we do will be in vain. After what just happened, I've ascertained Renova's goal. Or rather, the trigger condition for the Curse of Death.
Okay.
What she's doing is blocking Sneznaya's technological progress, preventing us from possessing any means with which to threaten the heavenly principles.
Just like the little lapdog she is.
So, any ideas, research, or experiments that lead to technological progress can trigger the curse. Just now, for instance, I was set to launch a final phase energy experiment ahead of schedule. If the experiment was successful, we could have achieved, as expected though, the moment the experiment began, all the researchers, technicians, and witnesses, all that effort, not to mention the energy and materials we relied on Project Stuja to gather for us, went to waste.
Does that mean something similar happened when we were
That's right. During the performance, I thought of an important breakthrough regarding the experiment, and wound up. So the nature of the curse seems to be something like... when moments of technological progress occur... Of course, that meant the curse was normally limited to the Armory Palace. Since outsiders are forbidden from entering, this mass death phenomenon went until Odette came along. I believe she was the first witness. The Curse of Death was triggered just before she infiltrated the Armory Palace.
But you mentioned something about a final stage experiment. Doesn't that mean you've actually made some progress?
That's right. Even with the gods locking certain key components out of reach, humanity can still advance technology in incremental steps accumulated But, as I'm sure Renova anticipated, even incremental progress has its limits. A point where the truth you're seeking must be put to the test in an
You mean the experiment you were just about to...
Yes, we were at a critical juncture, a moment where the quantitative was about to translate into fundamental qualitative. But now, after already being forced to fumble around in the dark all this time, it feels like as long as Renova's Curse of Death persists, we won't be able to advance the...
And with Project Stuja having been in effect all this time, at our nation's current strength, only by eliminating Renova first, will it be possible to continue it.
She's the ruler of death! She can just kill whoever she wants, right?
We'll see. But one thing's for sure. She definitely can't just do whatever she wants.
You're sick?
Wouldn't it be easier to just kill all of us researchers for good? Why resurrect us over and over again? Why let us advance?
So, you're saying...
Exactly. And I think that's where the key to our breakthrough lies.
Regardless, the ruler of death has always been an obstacle we must overcome. Indeed, we must face life, death, time, and space. After all, our goal is the heavenly principles.
The Fatui... What?
For a long time, I've had a vague suspicion the Fatui and the... But hearing the Jester admit it is still a shock. No wonder the Tsaritsa's goal at what kind of road will that lead Sneznaya?
In that case... Lord Jester, I would like to request some leave.
Granted. Get some rest, put the experiment out of your mind, and take care that the Curse of Death... While there is yet time, allow me to offer you my hospitality, honored guest of Sneznaya.
Paimon really doesn't remember. He's basically a stranger.
Allow me to explain. The reason Paimon reacted to the anti-Celestia energy developed by the Armory Palace is because she comes from Celestia herself. More specifically, she is one of its creations.
Paimon? A creation of Celestia?
Oh, right.
वो बता दिया
I
भाई.
was blinded by anger earlier, but thinking back on it, Renova also said that Paimon is a creation of Celestia.
As you know, the lunar fragments in Nodcry were pulled down from the sky using Fatui technology. But the first application of this technology was in Conria, over 500 years ago. I used this technology upon the heavens, and the response I received was none other than Paimon, descending from Celestia. I presented her to the Vinster King, but he took no interest in this gift, nor did it satisfy. Paimon then took up temporary residence in my palace until, of course, the arrival of the Cataclysm.
Wait, Paimon's a little confused. You're talking about things that happened in Kanya 500 years ago, but Paimon doesn't remember any of that. Falling from the sky.
Having lived through the Cataclysm, perhaps you too were burdened with some manner of curse. Although, losing your memories would indeed be the smallest price.
But it's not just her memories from Kanya. Paimon doesn't even know how she spent the last 500 years. She only has memories from the past few years. What was Paimon like back in Kanya? Did she know a whole lot because she came from Celestia?
Unfortunately, when you arrived in Conria, your consciousness was like that of a newborn infant. None could say what kind of being you once were in Celestia.
तो किसी
During
काम
the
की नहीं
time
थी
you lived
पाए
in
तब ये
Conria, your personality was no different from how it...
Aw, man! Paimon's plan to get her memories back and become super smart is ruined before it could even start. You know, even though Paimon lost her memories, she still feels weirdly close to you for some reason.
On the contrary, I completely ignored your existence. I was entirely focused on my struggle against Troptatir the Wise, but now, as I see it, it is as if you are the only sane thing that survived.
Noted. Man, Paimon's gotta stop projecting friendship on everyone she meets. But,
सही बात है
Traveler? Even though you know Paimon's some creation of Celestia now, you still want her, right? You're not going to abandon... Oh, phew! That's a relief.
I remember hearing the term...
Yeah! Paimon wanted to ask about that when the name came up just now. What is it? Paimon's heard of Project Stuja, but not this one.
As you know, Project Stuja is a series of measures enacted to consolidate our nation's resources, the greater purpose of which... Many of the things you have encountered thus far are essentially... This includes the Kuvaki Experimental Design Bureau in Notdry. Researching Kuvaki was merely a facade.
And that's a weapon built for the final battle against the Huh? I was given some intel, and I made...
Wait! You must mean that thing over there! Oh, Paimon's gotta take a closer look at this thing. Especially after you get...
Kuvaki alone will not break through Celestia's defenses, let alone challenge the heaven. The heavenly principles are no doubt accustomed to combating the power of the light realm, and elemental energy is simply the power of the human realm. For now, therefore, we have set our sights on the form of energy associated with the third descender and the stellar linchpins. This may hold the... You could say that by reverse engineering the stellar linchpins to extract the energy within, we have obtained a source of anti-celestial...
The Kuvaki Experimental Design Bureau, Project Stuja, and the new energy experiments. Huh. And it looks like your plan is almost complete.
Her Majesty the Tsaritsa has embarked upon an expedition to vanquish a monster. Or it...
Seems like the powers that be in Sneznaya don't intend to hold my past conflicts with the Fatui again.
The Harbingers have been granted significant autonomy in retrieving the Gnosis. But by the same token, they do not completely represent Sneznaya's official stat.
You read my mind.
Speaking of the Gnosis, Paimon's been dying to ask this question since forever. What exactly does the Tsaritsa...
The Gnosis will undoubtedly serve as a key bargaining chip when she confronts the heavenly principles. Beyond that...
What do you mean? Not sure. Don't you make the rules?
Taking on the heavenly principles is something most people wouldn't even entertain in their wildest
Into that today, Civilization is nothing but our civilization may very well be destroyed in the struggle, but as things stand, the Heavenly Prince only by changing the state of affairs, only by overthrowing the heavenly principles, can our civil... Otherwise, the fate of the people of Conria and Hyperborea...
Accepting potential destruction in return...
Furthermore... Perhaps this is still...
Huh? All of them? Paimon knows about the curse of death.
Then the birth of the Hilly Churls, the rules of Natlan's Ode of Resurrection. Those are curses too? Farina's long life seems to stem from a curse placed on her by...
Yes. Even a god's love for humanity is a curse, the heavenly principles.
What?
The Tsaritsa has always had ample reason to hate. If she can seize their authority, she will reconstruct the entire world. And when that... Look forward to it. It will be... Though the ordinary people of Sneznaya may not understand these details, in this we all believe that's...
Thank you for telling me so much.
Given the circumstances, the Fatui need not hide anything from our allies.
Allies?
To advance Project Mistleton, we must first resolve our issue with the Ruler of Death. And if I
That's right. Ever since she said she intends to reclaim
against an opponent of this caliber...
You're going to challenge the Ruler of Death? Thank you!
The Tsaritsa will return in triumph and...
Got it.
Of course, Paimon knows it's top secret and stuff, but...
Certainly you may.
Oh, for real?
While the technology...
Oh. Wow. No wonder Paimon felt so out of sorts recently. Even though it was super...
ये देखी भाला है क्या है ये भयंकर भाला होगा तो सरिता को तो भाला चलाती नहीं है तो तीर चलाती है बातचीत
Paimon?
Long story short...
That's right. So, I
It was thanks to you that...
Huh. Really, you... Anyway.
Ah, Director Chuganoff, you're back. We just received notice that Project Stuja has been suspended. So we've convened an emergency... This is the preliminary plan. In addition to expanding production, our calculations indicate that
That won't be necessary. Leave the energy for those who need it. Whether they use it just to get by or to run a business, start preparing to halt production and lay off the staff. Make sure the workers are able to land on their feet and that they are duly compensated. Thank you all.
Am I hearing you right?
I just...
भाई फैक्ट्री बंद कर दी भाई ने
Dear esteemed members of the Rokot, given the effects of Lelek's radical actions upon our organization's reputation and social stability, a decision has been made to permanently withdraw this codename from use. Considering that Lelek did what they did for the benefit of the people, the Rokot has nevertheless negotiated with the authorities, ultimately securing a waiver for all penalties due. Lelek will be suspended for a period of time. Depending on their future performance, they may be allowed to adopt a new codename and continue acting as part of... The purpose of this notice is to remind everyone once again that motives, even with projects, we act only...
We act only...
You mean for...
Just thinking out... I've never seen the Sneznaya vet...
अभी खत्म हो गया
I never once thought I'd come here. But I understand everything now, Rosaline.
I've seen Spirit Seeker performed many times, including by your mother.
Why do you bring that up all of a sudden?
Even though the choreography is always identical, every dance...
उसकी बात तो पूरी नहीं हो पाई.
So you actually want to talk to me about ballet?
I just think it would be a pity if the dance was lost to history. She didn't teach it to you, did she?
That was an unusually subtle taunt for you.
We embraced one another on the snow-swept plains, melting the ruthlessness of
यहाँ पे क्यों आया
time.
प्रकट सीन? अभी क्यों जा रहा हूँ मैं
But
सिग्नल
when
के टाउन
our
में?
bodies in pieces are cast to the winds, what of our love will remain behind?
और कौन में क्यों है ओरियाला?
Don't tell me you can't sing.
Shush.
ये ऑडिट को क्यों
I
दिखा रहा है?
understand her hatred. The Fatui robbed her of the life she should have had. I never opposed her dancing. Yet still I became an enemy of her ballet. I'll just keep my distance. Many despise me. I'm used to it.
You're certainly not one to shy away from confrontation. But children, they need a different approach.
I'm hardly the most maternal figure.
Yet, she is a child. In my experience, while a father commands authority, he must still yield to love. You should tell her what you think about her dancing. Odette will soon take the stage at the Korolyevsky Theater. This could be your chance.
Geonosis secured. It went smoothly. I'll be there. Have them send me an invitation.
Sadly, things didn't work out.
Oh.
Her final words are inside that block of ice.
This? Aren't these for monitoring her subordinates?
Not yours. This one isn't her witch's flame, but my two worlds' flames. The two worlds' flames can burn away memories. It was my parting gift to Rosaline.
If all goes to plan, she and I will both live to see the Tsaritsa succeed. I believe she'll find peace. But if anything happens to me, she needn't follow in my footsteps. The cryo-energy will fade away in time. Then the two worlds' flames will burn away all memories of the Fatui. She'll be free to dance. She deserves this.
I will handle the aftermath. The choice is yours, child.
Ne? Hitman.
Fresh air at last! Paimon's head isn't spinning anymore. Oh, it's nice to finally know where Paimon came from, too. It did make Paimon a... Like, who cares if
Paimon
Paimon's a
फिर आ
creation
गई.
of Celestia?
बहुत
She's
बोलती
probably
है
not
भाई.
anyone that important. Probably just the fairy of food and fun or something. And like you said, this doesn't have to change anything between us. You're not gonna just... Hey! Hurry up! Why are you walking so slowly?
You've spent the last few days lying in bed and stuffing your face.
Says who? Paimon originally. Wait, they've got light novels from Yai Publishing House here too. The local Sneznaya books look pretty interesting.
I thought you were in the...
Paimon can read while she flies. Hey, look at these two dolls.
Oh, I thought...
There you are.
Paimon will grab this.
ओ मुझे लग रहा है अब सरिता आने वाले वापस के अंदर अंदर होएगी ना
How many layers does this thing have? And a whole bunch of people are gathered over by the plaza. Hey, look! That looks like Tartaglia.
I know that voice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. About that. That was kind of embarrassing. Who could have known that our director would go looking for you in person? Oh, right. Let me introduce you.
ओ नहीं है
Hello.
So she
said you two didn't manage to meet up at the theater.
I know, right? He didn't bother to say a word to me. I searched up and down the city for him, and he only told me about it when I finally caught him at the...
I've been rushed off my feet lately, so I didn't get the chance. I'm sorry, Tonya.
Although the mix-up led to a series of misunderstandings, it's probably for the... Besides, it's obvious that Tartaglia isn't usually one to break a promise. He only gave his ticket to me because he had to look into...
No, it's fine. It just meant I didn't get to see the show in the end. By the way, what did you think? You were one of the first people to see it.
I would...
Huh? What kind of... Hey!
ओह अरे सबकी चीजें एक के बाद एक के बाद एक के बाद दिखा दी उन्होंने भयंकर ओह माय गॉड सरिता आ गई भाई ये कौन है एक्टर होगी जो भी होगी सरिता को ढंग से दिखाया नहीं उन्होंने भयंकर जम गई तो क्वेस्ट कंप्लीटेड चलो भाई दूसरा भी खा लेता हूँ क्या है कंप्लीट रेड न Never never show about that. Method permanent method. क्या यार कौन क्या 500 मिल रहे हैं सीधे उसको करने पे हुआ यार यार पहले जी मैंने क्या नहीं किया अभी तक फिर से खत्म यार यार क्वेस्ट ही नहीं हो रहा यार कौन को यार कौन को ये होते हैं शायद। क्या है? Shadowing to- बाहर कैसे निकले यहाँ से? ओ ये है ना। क्या मिला? Okay. Back again. Hmm. क्यों टीम मनी के अंदर तो नहीं है? हम्म। तो बहुत मैं नहीं जाता। सॉरी गाइस। कितना मस्त लगता है आवाज तो। तुम तुम तुम
Would you like to go moongate? You can sit in my rocking chair and admire the view. Or we could go to the moon and gaze down at Tefat. Whatever you...
छोड़ दो कोई। तो वो रह गया अभी वहाँ पर। ठीक है। हो जाए। देख लेता हूँ। 35 अटैक और एचपी 10 प्राइवेसी 10 और 23 सेटिंग फिर 7 तो इसका भी हो गया। क्रिट डैमेज बढ़ जाता है तो अब सही तो है। क्या मिल रखा है अभी? क्रिट रेट 10, क्रिट डैमेज 12 अटैक परसेंट डैमेज 14 कम हो जाएगा। किस काम का है? सात का हो गया, चलो अच्छा हो गया। ठीक है, डैमेज 62 क्रिट 7 का। ओह, डैमेज 19 खराब लगता है मुझे, क्या बताऊँ।
Maybe you're not.
अपन कम सीखा अपन का। काम का है नहीं हुए। कुछ काम की चीज है कोई तो बता दो स्क्रॉल ऑफ फेरी में बना सकता हूँ Shit.
If you ever have any...
Yeah. अंत कैसे जाऊंगा मैं आगे चल हम कहाँ
you are not.
No, ती और चाहिए बस कर लेता हूँ ना कुछ तो मेरे को और तो लगाना था रुक जा
If you ever
लगाते जाएंगे मुझे नेक्स्ट रिपोर्ट हो गया 20 मोर 8,000 हो जाएंगे बाहर के लिए रखा है मैंने वो क्या है मेरे पास केस बना रह गया
maybe you are not used to the place at the
चल है कितना बात करता है भयंकर सिट में पहुंच गया भाई अब हमें 22 पर सही है और बड़ा कैसे बढ़ता है मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा रैंक अच्छा ये जितनी ज़्यादा नई चीज़ें बनाऊंगा उतना अच्छा रहेगा। बट की शायद इंटरेस्ट क्योंकि शायद मैंने पहले खरीद लेता हूँ मुझे।
have put in. If you ever have it.
have put in. If you ever have any questions about the realm within, you may. Personally, I think the idea of things staying the same forever is quite beautiful. But alas, that is simply not the way the world works.
ले आता हूँ कौन से हटा देता हूँ, दो को और अंदर रख देता हूँ।
We have. If you ever have any. We have put it.
This is going to be burning.
If you ever have any.
later. Yep. Huh?
Hello guys, bye bye, Tata.